All of the content contained in this webcast is for informational purpose only. The investments and strategies contained in this webcast may not be suitable for you. Please consult your own independent financial advisor before making any investment or trading decisions. Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to Thursday's exciting edition of premarketinfo.com, where we prepare you for the most important hour of the day, the first hour. Dennis got a 9-point range in the S&Ps this morning. We tested that 1353 level late, kind of 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock last night. We bounced. We're able to take out Wednesday's intraday high, and now we're stuck in the middle.
Stuck in the middle here, Joel. Stuck in the middle with you. Anyways, only thing really of real news, Hewlett-Packard reporting last night, and that bounced around like a yo-yo, so we'll have to keep that one in mind on the Market Movers show. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet again.
Okay, let's keep a focus on the S&Ps right here. We have 1353 as yesterday's low. We hit the 1353 and a quarter in the Globex session. That's a major level. Don't have much after that. If the 1353 and a quarter holds as the low of the day, we have an upside target of 1367 and a quarter. If that 1362 and a quarter holds as the high of the day, we got a downside target of 1248 and a quarter. Let's keep an eye on that close too, right here, right around the mid-range, 1356. Moving on to the Big Ten, ExxonMobil continues its march towards its 52-week high, hitting 87 and a quarter before peeling back to settle at 86.92. Looks challenged, poised to challenge at 87 and a quarter this morning. Major resistance at the high of the move, 87.94 up to the 52-week high. And really the only support we have in here is Tuesday's close and Wednesday's low at the 86.60 level.
It was trading up to that 87 and a quarter earlier this morning here too, Joel. So it looks like that 87 and a quarter level may come into play. I'd use that for my initial resistance. Above that, I think we talked about that 88 level. So that, 88.13 high that we made a little while ago. And even going back just a month ago, we just topped out just under 88. So call that whole level. I think that number, just get that 87.94. So 87.90s are going to probably be your next major point of resistance here.
Okay, Apple Computer continues to punish shorts here. I see it here at 513.50 not too long ago in the pre-market. That's real close. 513.04 is the close, and I threw the pivot in there at 512.53 just because there's not many numbers in this stock. But as long as we stay above 512.5, we're good to go. 515.89, right where we're trading now, is I really don't have much above that up until the 52-week high.
Yeah, Joel, again on the 52-week high, 526.29. I think that's the level eventually it wants to go and probably test. It's this slow drift up towards it, so if it takes that out, then scary to be short the stock. We're kind of right in the middle here, 515, 526.29, and that 500 magnet area, which I could eventually pull back to 2. So I don't know. I'm kind of just sitting on my hands until it makes a break either way.
Okay, IBM, Dennis, threw another head fake on traders. It snuck up to that 194.90 level again. Got up to 194.74. It stepped in, HFT stepped in, drove this thing back down quite a bit, but still bounced to settle at 193.87. That area is just looming large there. Dennis, is there any size in the book there at that level? Is it 195?
You're right. It's 195, Joel, over 100,000 shares there. So the high-frequency guys, whenever this thing gets in the high 194s, they lean on that. And basically the stock just rejects the level. I think if it was to get up in the 194.90s, then it could get caught in that tractor beam and then maybe pull up to actually take out that size at 195. But until it gets that 194.74 is just a little bit further. So this guy's almost leaning on where the high frequency guys might be. But if you were playing that level again, you could have made over $1 just selling it at 194.74 if you got that high.
Okay, Chevron Corporation have a nice formation here. Two tops, 108.50 and 108.56. Those are levels to keep a focus on. 107.50 close, just hanging above Wednesday's low here at 107.20. Below 107.20, things really open up here, at least into the 106 area. And if we do get back up to that 108.50 area, expect some major selling.
Yeah, the stock was relatively weak compared to ExxonMobil and ConocoPhillips there yesterday. Usually those all kind of move in tandem, but this one was a little bit weaker with ExxonMobil actually being up on the day yesterday. This one couldn't really get positive and then just kept pulling back. So not sure why the relative weakness was there, but should take note of it. If the stock does follow through and have more relative weakness today, this 106 area is huge on the stock.
Softy had a breakout that turned out to be a fake out. Got over that 31.55 level, got up to 31.68, and then it just hit that like a rock. Someone decided that it was time to get out of Microsoft. Drove it down to 18. 31.15 was Tuesdays and Wednesdays low. You have a key area, double bottom. If it holds, look for Microsoft to go back up and test that 31.68 again. Below 31.15 will surely test Friday's low at 30.95. But Dennis, did you see that move above 31.55 yesterday?
Yeah, I wasn't really trading Microsoft, but I can see it on the chart there, Joel. So, but it looks like it rejected it and kind of sold out back off, eh?
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, so I'd use that level again if it would get into rally mode. 31.68 just kind of keeps nibbling up and making new highs, so it's still drifting higher. Although yesterday, pretty good pullback from the highs there. Obviously, and closing near the lows is never a good sign. Think of like Procter and Gamble a couple days ago when it closed near the low. It had a pretty bad follow-through day, so you never like to see stocks close near the low. And the stock is showing a little bit of relative weakness again, being down 7 cents here. So a little bit of concern for Microsoft longs.
Okay, GE, which is actually ex-dividend, so it's actually trading up a little bit in the pre-market, though it's showing down 11 cents. That 1950 area, like the Rock of Gibraltar here, 1947, Tuesday's high, 1950, Wednesday's high, coincides nicely with the high on July 22nd, 1953. Probably going to have a hard time getting through that level today due that it's ex-dividend. Expect good resistance at the close in 1936 as the dividend players look to get out even. Coming back on the downside, mild support at 1918, which was Wednesday's low.
Yeah, the dividend there was the amount 17 cents, so the adjusted close is 1922. So when it's trading 1928, it actually is trading up 6 cents, like you noted there, Joel. And you're right, this 1950 area has been thick. And we had a little run up into the dividend for a few days, so it wouldn't surprise me if we were to get anywhere near that area. I think you find some pretty good sellers, and you're right, even at settlement from yesterday at 1939, there's probably going to be some sellers just as people try to collect the dividend and scratch a stock.
Okay, Procter and Gamble exhibited some more weakness yesterday. Got as low as 64.35, then rebounded nicely up to 64.71. Came back, kind of settled near the end of the range. 64.35 is support. Below that, I'd look for a test of the 64 level. Coming back on the upside, I'd look for resistance at 64.71.
Yeah, I like the 64 level for the first shot at it. I think you might see a bounce there after we've had a couple of weekdays. It might give it a test there today, depending probably what this jobless numbers does. If we're to go into rally mode, 65 is big too, Joel, just to note that level.
Okay, moving on to our next component, AT&T. Bumped up against that 30.40 level again, 30.38 Tuesday's high, 30.40 yesterday. Major resistance. I see it's trading up a little bit in the pre-market, so opening into resistance. Close 30.28. That would be support with Wednesday's low right below that. Below 30.20, if this market goes any kind of sell-off mode, look at to migrate back down
Yeah, I'm seeing some significant size, Joel, at 30, 45, and 30, 50, over 150,000 shares at both of those levels. That is significant for AT&T. I know AT&T trades thick, but that is significant size. So I'd expect those high frequency guys to be in the 30, 40 area, probably selling a little bit more. So that's where your major resistance will come in early on.
Okay, J and J, that double top area at 65, 24, 28, and if in fact it did get through there, there was more resistance at 65, 39. So we got a little bit above that, 65, 34. Peeled back to close at 65. Last three closes right within a nickel. Double bottom down at 64.75 to 81. Tuesdays and Fridays lows. Let's take a look at that area. If it gets through there, look for a test back in the low 64s.
See yesterday's tape on this one. Just got resistance all over the place in the mid 65s. So, and if you get above that, 66 is enormous.
Okay, J and J, we're done with that. Moving on to Pfizer. Got up near Friday's high at 21.48. 21.43 was the high. We're looking at resistance all in that area. 21.36 close. Mounds of support at 21.05 to 21.10.
Yeah, 2150. You called this number here. We didn't get quite up to there yesterday, 2143, but 2150 is forming some size there too, and that's going to be a rock of resistance there. If you can get above there, then you could start talking a little higher. But until it gets above 2150, I think the play is from the short side on this one.
Okay, all right, folks. In the Big Ten, we'll be back with our market movers.